how do you even fund a business? Where do you find that information? What are the realistic opportunities that are available? I'm Joanne, I'm at the Staffordshire Funding Festival 2026 and we're going to look for the answers to all of those questions. What is the best way to fund a business? I'm Oggy. We're here today at the Staffordshire Funding Festival, really focusing on start-up businesses.
Yes.
And what do you think is the key takeaway from today for the startups? Where can they really find funding and support?
So the thing that comes out from today is that there are a lot of ways to get funding, whether it's from the banks, angel investors, bid writing. On top of that, it's not necessarily always just money directly, that there are other ways to get what you would have spent the money on anyway.
Yeah.
So if you wanted some money and you wanted to hire like a mentor or something, you can actually go and get the mentor directly. So thinking about what you would have spent the money on, maybe there's ways to get that without getting money.
So you mentioned there about bid writing.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're a bid writing company. We support companies to grow their revenue through securing new contracts. So we had a little chat over lunch about bidding and your experience with bidding.
We've written a few bids in our time and they were always not successful, and sometimes we'd even get we'd come second or something like that, and I never quite understood why we weren't getting them. We've been going through a bid writing process with you involved, and I've seen what the bid looks like. Now I understand what the bids that win look like compared to ours. Ours, I can criticise them now. They were a bit vague, they weren't specific enough, they weren't maybe answering the right question. All sorts of criticisms I could look back on them and say, oh, what a silly mistake, what a silly mistake.
But this is really important because what Mog is saying here is very, very common issues that I see all the time in businesses, the generic responses, the lack of really understanding what the buyer's getting for, what are they really asking for behind that wad of bid documents that they send you. So I mean, that's really what I do, is just work with the businesses to help them get over that initial overwhelm, really understand what the buyer's looking for, and then tailor their response. Because as you say, the projects are brilliant, your ideas are brilliant, everybody's buying into it that you're working with, the teachers. You've just got to be able to work out how to get those words down on the page, and most importantly, answer the question that the buyer's asking. Hi Phil.
Hi Joe.
Welcome to the Staffordshire Funding Festival. So do you want to tell us who you are and why you're here?
Yeah, so I'm Phil Edwards from a company called the Executive Training Consultancy, and we help micro and small business owners to grow, scale their businesses, move into new markets.
How do small businesses find funding? What would be your advice?
I think they've got to have a great idea and a good business plan. So basically to sit down and with an potential investor, angel investor, finance company, and sell that idea to them, because you really need to get them engaged, on board. And I think often they look at the team that's involved with the project, because that really sort of sells it to them.
So how do you get from sort of being a startup to then being in front of an angel investor? I mean, that feels like that's a massive thing, is it not?
Not really, no, but it's surprised the amount of businesses we've worked with over the years that have got beyond the startup phase and are moving more to sort of, okay, we've got a new market we want to get into, and often it's a new product idea or a reason for scaling the business now becomes, okay, well that's the new market over there, is where we really need to be next. And often they don't have the knowledge and the skills to enter that new market. But if it's an angel investor that is familiar with that market, it's a bit like the Dragon Dens type scenario, then, okay, I've got an expertise, so I'll have a share of that because of my expertise, and so that gives you a logical step forward then. But it's somebody that's working with you as a team and understands that market that you're going into. That's perfect really then for a small business who wants to move on to that next direction.
So events like this then, why are they really, really useful?
Well, you've got everybody in the same room, and I think we've just had a couple of presentations there, the last one in particular, that was talking about strategy and business planning to track finance. That's great, but you've got to have a really good idea and a sound marketing plan to be able to sort of say to people, look, this is what I want the funding for. And so events like today, everybody in the room can help you at some point. So if you come here with an idea for your business or a new market, new product, there's a potential that you can secure that with some sort of funding. So why not be here?
Yeah. And that's really why
Yeah.
I'm here today as well,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
obviously I work with businesses to help them grow their revenue by securing new contracts through bids and tenders or grant applications.
Yeah.
So I find this really, really useful. I make some really good connections.
Yeah, and a big piece on tendering as well today. So,
Yes.
you know, people like yourself, really, you can make a difference between that new contract, which could be everything to the business.
That's it. You've got to take that first step.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not as scary as you think. You just need to work with someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's a wrap from the Staffordshire Funding Festival 2026. Oh my God, what an amazing day. We've connected with loads of different people, had loads of conversations with funders. But if you need any more resource or you've got any questions about bid writing, head over to our website at www.wordsmithprojects.com. Fill out the contact form today, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.